Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. VNSNow.com, Maid With Perfection for NaNoRenO 2015. And now they fight! The speakers surrounding the arena awoke with a sound of blips clicking through the air. One blip, two blip. At the third, Carolyn and Red charged at each other. Red unsheathed the knife, and Carolyn ran at her unarmed. Why is she not armed? With a swipe, Red tried to slash at Carolyn, but her dagger didn't make its dodging target as Carolyn stepped back and started to move defensively. Carolyn kept circling and stepped away from Red, trying to maintain distance from the blade that could end her career and her life. I stared and leaned in with anticipation. Carolyn had trained really hard for this. She had to beat Red somehow. As Carolyn began to come close to the arena ring line, she tried to twirl around Red, but she was blocked and dodged an incoming thrust of Red's knife. I can't English. Finally, Red closed the distance, trying to land her target perfectly. I tensed up. This could be... With perfect grace, Carolyn was able to dodge Red's knife and disarm her as soon as they were close enough to almost collide. As Red stared in shock, Carolyn began to slam punches and kicks at her opponent. Ground and pound, baby, ground and pound! I watched in awe as Carolyn took to a strong offensive. This was almost the complete opposite of how she fought a week ago. Instead of having a strong defense, she was the one landing the blows at Red, who could only try to dodge or block with her hands. Red crashed down and swept a foot around to try and trip Carolyn, but Carolyn flipped back massively and slipped back in towards Red to continue her barrage of hits. Every hit Red threw at her enemy, Carolyn was able to maneuver around and defend against before attacking back and landing her hits perfectly.
Red! What are you doing?
She's getting her butt handed to her. And we get no event graphics of this glorious moment. With a loud cry, Carolyn slammed her foot into Red's stomach and sent her flying out of the ring, causing the speaker to blare a loud blip and some of the crowd to cheer wildly while the rest grumbled in defeat for betting against Carolyn. The speaker sounded, declaring Carolyn the winner in a robotic yet strangely excited tone. What? She won? Why am I surprised? She curled into a ball, holding her stomach as Angela ran to her, crouching down like a mother to her child. Carolyn, however, turned back and ran to me with a happy grin.
I did it! I did it!
Instantly, she leapt into my arms, hugging me tightly. I caught her and spun her around. She did it.
You did it!
Okay, we get it. Excuse me? We held onto each other for a bit before I let her go, lowering her to the ground gently. We both smiled wildly at each other in pride.
Red, are you okay? Yeah, ma'am.
Carolyn and I looked over to see Red gripping her stomach tightly with Angela purely concerned, hovering over her maid. Red was coughing and I could tell that a rib or two was broken from Carolyn's kick. As much as I wanted to feel bad, she kind of deserved it. Well, technically, she was only doing her job, but, well, she was kind of a jerk. Carolyn and I walked towards our ex-opponents, causing Angela to look up at me. She didn't glare, however. She had a look mixed with concern for her maid and defeat of the situation.
I guess you do belong with us. You trained your maid well.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't train her. She trained all on her own. She wanted a fight to stay with me.
Red looked up weakly at Carolyn, growling. However, her face couldn't lie. She was defeated and she knew it.
I guess I underestimated you. That's one hard-ass kick.
It's fine. However, now you know who's the true top maid, right?
I expected Red to spit at her or get back up for round 2. However, Red simply smirked.
Whatever. I'll change that someday. I swear on it.
I stared, mildly surprised at the situation. I thought Red was evil. No, I thought she wanted to humiliate Carolyn. Yeah, that was true. Carolyn smirked at me before crouching down and holding out her hand to Red, who took it weakly and shook it. Yeah, dude, technically they're both soldiers. They're fighting on the same side. They just want to be better than the other.
For now, you
It's
can
a shonen
top
thing.
maid. Keep the title warm for me for when I come back and take it.
Yeah, it's a shonen thing. Let me not overthink it. It's a shonen thing. You beat your opponent and suddenly you become friends. It's like Dragon Ball Z.
I'll wait until you try.
I looked to Carolyn and smiled. She really was kind, even to her opponents. Still, she worked hard to stay with me, and I was happy that she could. Carolyn was with me to stay. When we went home, I couldn't help but let out a relieved sigh. Carolyn got to stay with me, and I got to keep my title. Even more so, Carolyn was happy, and I enjoyed seeing the joyful smile on her face the entire way home. As much as I didn't do exactly a lot, I still felt accomplished. He really does sound like a noble now. As a representative for Carolyn, I was proud of her. She celebrated by making a large cake for dessert, and oh boy, was it amazing. I was stuffed and went to bed a very happy and full person that night. However, I didn't stay in bed for long as a knock appeared at my bedroom door.
Huh? Come in.
What's Carolyn up to? I thought she also went to bed. I wonder where this is going. My face turned red as Carolyn walked into my room in just a towel. Her hair looked slightly wet, so you could tell that she had just come out of the shower. Why wasn't she in her uniform? Carolyn blushed as she closed the door and gripped the towel around her.
Master? Can I tell you something?
Sure. Yeah. What is it?
Carolyn took a step forward towards the bed, causing me to stand for a minute and walk in front of her. She kept her eyes down, but her face was as pink as a peach.
I want to thank you for directing me and helping me win.
Peaches aren't pink. I just want to point that out. I'm from Georgia. I know.
Huh? Oh, no. You trained hard and stuff. You totally had it.
Still, without your instruction, I would have worked myself to exhaustion, and I probably couldn't have won. I owe you so much.
See, this is what I was talking about. This would have made much more sense if she just went ahead and did that and you had to choose to step in and try and stop her. Just saying.
Hey, you don't owe me anything, okay? I wanted to help you, so I did, because I care for you.
I don't know her.
I care for you too. I mean, more so than I should.
I stared as Carolyn looked up at me with a smile.
I know it's only been a week, but I've really grown to like you, Master. You're kind and you take care of me better than I could have imagined. It's almost as if I'm not a maid.
I felt my heart flutter. Was this a confession?
I understand if you don't like me back, but I think that I like you so much that I could grow to love you.
As Carolyn stared up at me, I felt my mind jumble like it did the first time I saw her. She was cute needs to die. She was so cute, and she was smiling up at me with a cute blushing face. It was true. I have found her cute, but I never imagined that she would confess to me like this.
So, Master, can I make a request?
Sure.
This could go really dark right now. She could just reach up and stab me in the neck. Slowly, Carolyn raised her hands and wrapped them around my neck, giving me a shy look. My heart skipped at her request.
May I have a kiss?
How could I say no? I gently wrapped my arms around her form and leaned in to kiss her, gently feeling her stretch up to brush her lips against mine. Her lips were soft and tasted like sweet vanilla, and enticed me to brush my lips against hers a little more to get more of her taste. I felt fireworks go off in my head as I kissed Carolyn. She gently tightened her hug around me, matching my deep kiss. I felt her love in that kiss, and I gave my love back to her in return. Carolyn gently walked around while holding me, causing us to turn to where her back was to my bed. With a touch, she caused me to fall forward on top of her. I broke from the kiss and landed with my arms on either side of her, not wanting to crush her. I wonder how this is going to end. Yep. A blind man could have seen that one coming. I stared down at Carolyn with a blush as she smiled and held her arms to me, inviting me back into her embrace.
I'm so happy, Master. I love you.
And then at that moment, I didn't see my maid. I saw a woman that I cared for and liked, maybe even loved. She wanted to stay beside me and fought so hard to do so. I felt incredibly unworthy that I didn't let that feeling shake me. But I think that was a but. We're moving on. I lowered myself down to kiss her, feeling her arms wrap around me. She did indeed show her love and happiness. I assured her mind in return. Y'all can read between the lines on that one. Who knew that a maid and a soldier could like someone like me? I was incredibly lucky. She was perfect, this house was perfect, my life had become perfect. Score. Best in, Maid With Perfection. I don't know, I heard somewhere that was hard to get. I got that pretty easily. Alright, so let's put it on the credit screen so you can see all the wonderful people who made this game. Now, here's the thing, it was alright. it wasn't a slam dunk or anything, and that's mostly the setup was it's crazy shonen stuff. And if it would have stayed on that train, solidly on that train, we would have had a pretty fun ride. It's that middle part where you had to do the training montage. If it would have gone in a different direction, it would have really kind of solidified itself as being a decent to above decent title. For the time they had to put it all together, the best thing was, I mean, the story it's a good premise that really does need to be fleshed out a little bit more. Like a few videos ago, the minute you start thinking too hard about it, it's the minute it falls apart. But the background art, the etchy stuff, there's a couple of more negatives and positives with this one, but as far as this particular time period is concerned, they did a good job in getting this idea together and putting it together in a cohesive enough way where it can make a complete story. I wish there was more time for investment, but that would have meant probably more production time, and yeah, would have got done on time. Is this thing worth $1? Here's the thing. If they just want to raise money for Seduce Me 2, there has to be another way about it. Just because, I mean, there has to be another way. There has to be something that they can put together, an art book, a soundtrack. The soundtrack is an original, so there are plenty of ways they can promote the game without attaching it to a completely separate game. But I'll leave that up to the fans of Seduce Me. I haven't played it yet, so I'm leaving that one open. Overall, it was alright. It was slightly, if I was giving this a full grade, it would be slightly above average, just because that one middle section just drug. But what carried it over for me, I mean, it was obvious that the voice actors was having fun, and that's where I would give it that slightly above average. But at some point, like, if I was really thinking about it, it would be pretty solidly average, a 5 out of 10. A good idea that needed much more time to develop, and much more time between the character and the maid for any kind of relationship or connection to make sense. So, I mean, good job. I mean, the fact that they finished this and all that voice work and all the music and everything in time is something to be proud of. It's just that at the end of the day, what sticks in my head is the price tag. I just don't know if this, hopefully it'll work out. I don't know if it was wise to put a price tag on it. On the Limasoft tag that is on the Limasoft thread is on, nobody has responded to it yet. As of April 2nd, dating this video again, but there we go. So hopefully it works out for them. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I can see them in another week or so making this thing free, and people can decide from there what they want to do. Alright, so let's see how we landed on our EVM bingo chart. We don't know where the setting is, so I can't say anything about that. We have the obligatory fan service scene. We have a female protagonist that was an option, a male protagonist, and since the best ending was probably the female option, we're going to just go ahead and click off gay option there. We have text in here, romantic themes. There is music. If there were no sound effects though, so we'll just leave that one blank. We'll touch it. And anime style artwork. And I can't do same-sex cast. If I had picked female, if it was the female main protagonist and no male option, we would have had that. That would have been nice. But yeah, no bingo yet, but a lot of tropes they managed to click off on this one. So I wish them luck. I gotta play Seduce Me at some point, and we'll see how well they did in their first official, well, not official, but their biggest project to date. But yeah, it's an alright game. It's a good idea, and I can see it being expanded on their material outside of visual novels. But yeah, this is one of those things that need a little bit more than a month. But other than that, good luck to them, and good work for finishing this. I don't know what's next. I know what I have planned. I want to do Scalawags next. I don't know. We'll see if I can knock that out. Other than that, if you're enjoying the series so far, leave a like under the video, comment, tell me what you think. I would love to hear your opinion about Maid with Perfection and Maid With Perfection and Chrysanthemum Tea from last time. And whenever I get it up, I would really like to hear your guys' opinions on Catnip, because you'll see what I mean when you see the video. But other than that, VNsnow.com. That is VNsnow.com for all your news, reviews, previews, all that good stuff about the EVN community and narrative fiction at large. We'll be back with a new video series very soon. Until then, I dropped my pen. So I dropped my phone and then I dropped my pen. And the pen was the only thing that broke. Nice. Anyway, till next time.